Go ahead and insert a whistle sound. We can afford that, right? Can we afford that? Do we have a whistle sound? But do it when I say whistle. So whistle. It's Adult Swim time. Everyone get out of the pool unless you're old and weird. It's the hatening. I couldn't think of a thing I'm sorry. I already did lifeguard once for the summertime episode, but it's the hatening and we're talking about the pool. Not swimming, the pool. And I want to talk about this because, it is the summertime. It is still pool time. And yeah, I went to the pool the other day and I forgot how much I liked the pool, and also I forgot how much time I spent at the pool as a kid. You know what I mean? And how your relationship to the pool changes during the various stages of your life, right? And this episode may be purely anecdotal, but I'm going to try not to. But I guess you got to understand, when I was growing up, once my mom and I sort of went out on our own, so to speak, big air quotes on that one. We ended up living in a place that had a community pool, you know what I'm saying? A neighborhood pool. And I'm not going to say that my mom used that as a free babysitter for a lot of my life, but I'm also going to say that that was my babysitter for most of my life when I still needed one during the summertime. The vibe very much was I would wake up and she would kind of send me to the pool at a leisurely pace, and then we knew all the other, there was a million other parents there, and there were kids my age, and then more importantly we had a very good relationship with the managers of the establishment, and then also the lifeguards and shit. And so I would spend pretty much the entire work day for the most part. Obviously I wasn't put in jail there, I could come and go, but it was I spent most of my days during the summer in late elementary, early middle school, we'll call it, at the pool, and then even when it was later middle school and then going into high school, once I had a little bit more agency and fuck this is baby shit, you know what I mean? When you kind of want to rebel against your parents and just skateboard and smoke cigs at 7-Eleven parking lots, I would still go to the pool all the time. And I remember it was this very weird thing that I definitely took for granted my entire life, because anytime I brought up that I had pool access, people would get really horny for it. They get really fucking excited about the idea of coming over and swimming. But I just it had been just it to me, it was if someone was excited that I had a fucking washer and dryer in the house, you know what I'm saying, where it's oh my god, I can come over and swim. It was kind of oh my god, I can come over and wash my clothes. And it's yeah, I don't fucking care. Do you want to? We can do it whenever you fucking want. It's right there. I don't give a shit. Let's fucking go, I guess. I know, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it felt to me, but yeah. So when I was young and, and the summer would start, I'm no fucking lie, dude. I would spend every fucking day of the summer at the pool, every fucking day, all fucking day. And I know I've talked about how I don't fuck with being outside and I don't fuck with all that shit. And a lot of that I think might be trauma response, not to be dramatic. I'll explain in a moment, from being at the pool all the time, because I do burn very easy. And so it always was the beginning of every single summer for my young life. I just got super lobster, sun poison-y burnt, and then would recover for a couple days, and then would just have a crazy base tan as a young kid. There's pictures of me where I looked like a nice wood finished table, in terms of just how fucking dark I was. It's fucked up, it's fucking crazy. But it was because I was just basically locked outside next to a body of water for most of the day. And obviously I'm being hyperbolic, but I spent at least 6 hours a day at the pool for many summers, right? And it was fun, and obviously I had friends, and I would swim and I would tan, and I would bring my fucking Game Boy or my Walkman or whatever the fuck. But it really was just very normal for me. I didn't think it was weird or out of the norm, whatever, for okay, it's the summertime and the pool's open and it's literally across the street. So I just go there. Everyone just kind of goes goes over there, and you just kind of like, you're just like all hot outside together, and then you all jump in the body of water when you're not hot. You know what I mean? And then like in the evening time, like people would get like fucking food delivered out there, and then like the adults would be drinking a little bit, and no one would get like super party drunk, but they would get a little loose, and you know what I mean? And then towards like the evening, like when the sun was going down, like, you know, it would be a little more like a party, but during the day it was kind of like this weird, like watching everyone's kids festival type of thing happening, you know. But then as I got older and started to kind of like gravitate away from just like being locked outside all day, you know, I went to play video games, hang out with my friends, chase girls around, like, you know, whatever the fuck. Like I kind of like stopped really going as much, but then when I went, it still very much was the like, I'm just going to lay out and do nothing and like take a nap and like, you know, maybe swim a little bit, right? Like your relationship changes to the pool as you get older, because like I'll tell you, like when I was in high school, you know, because I didn't really go that much when I came home from college, but like when I was in high school, at least, like I would still go to the pool, but I would only go to like swim, right? Like it was different, like, you know, because when I was younger, it was like there would be fucking like games, you know what I'm saying, like and shit to do, like there were like other activities, but you were kind of just would do them to occupy your time while you're at the pool. But then like once I got to be a little older, like I didn't spend as much, like my time there was more laser focused, and I would like go and like jump in the water and swim around and then leave, like smoke a joint, do whatever the fuck, skateboard, and then come back and like do it more to like relax, right? As opposed to being like, well, we have to be here and this is what you do. It was like, oh, I'm going to like actually chill in this water and do whatever, you know? And then like when I got into college, like, we didn't use the pool because the living situation fluctuated. But then like, you know, once that course corrected itself, for lack of a better term, like now I have like pool access again. And it's very fun because I've kind of come full circle where like now if I'm home, like I will just kind of like do the beach bum pool day thing if I have time, right? Although I have to like kind of time it out differently, because being in the sun and swimming like makes me way more tired as a grown man than it did as like a young whippersnapper. So like I kind of have to be like, if I'm going to be at the pool for 2 hours, I need like 6 hours to recover. You know what I mean? Because the sun and I, we're sworn enemies. But like, no, the pool's fucking sick, but it really is like this very funny, like secret weapon I always have in my back pocket that I never really think of until people are like really excited, because everybody likes to swim and everybody does whatever. But for the most part, it's like you either have to pay an arm and a leg to go to like a decent pool. And I'm not trying to talk shit on public pools, because I've definitely spent a lot of time at a public pool and they're fucking cool. But you know what I mean? Like a public pool's a public pool. We all been there. Like it's way more rambunctious. It's way more like party time. It's way more like a fucking playground or like a public park, and it's great. Like I do love it, but there's something that's like, you know, inherently more relaxing. I mean, it's by design of like a semi-private, like members only pool, right? But then now like I can use that access to like, you know, like make it more of like a vacation day with my friends or with whoever, because like we work, we go to school, we're doing whatever the fuck. So it's not just like, well, I have nothing to do, I'll go walk over to the pool. Like now it's like, okay, I need to like have a plan out a pool day, and you make like these like fun activities there, and then you kind of like try and spend as much time as you can. So people are tanning, people are reading, people are kicking the soccer ball around, you're swimming, you're not like, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of revert back to like that childhood, like I'm going to spend the day at the pool doing pool stuff, right? I will say like one of the best pool experiences that I've had was in Toronto, for New Friends Fest, and I don't know what the fucking name of the pool was, but it was a free public pool in a public park, but it was cleaner and nicer than any like private pool that I've ever been to, aside from like the one I went to in like the DC suburbs, and then the like one I went to in like a fucking LA country club. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so fucking pristine up there and so nice. And obviously like I was there with a bunch of the homies, so it's just like a generally pleasant memory. But like I was blown away by like the public amenities in general in Canada, but also just the fact that like anyone from off the street, there was someone who was smoking crack on a bench next to this fucking public park, but not in like in the grimy Maryland way. It was just like a dude was just smoking crack, and we were walking past and people didn't know what it was. I was the only one who knew what it was. And I was like, that guy's smoking crack. And I looked at him. I was like, what's up, dude? Kind of like, hey, what's up? I know what's going on. Like, but I'm cool with it. And he like looked mortified that someone like knew what he was doing because it was such a wholesome place. And he like scurried off. Right. But like, no, like pool culture is like very interesting to me. Like, you know, all the stereotypes of like hot lifeguards and like you're going and everyone's kind of like scantily clad and like oiled up. So like it can be this like very sexy place, you know, although this isn't like the 80s anymore, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's always this kind of like sexy, like fuck vibe that like kind of like hovers over a pool, right? Like, I don't know, like it's weird. Like it's not weird, but it's like it's a place that like can be very sexy or can be very not sexy, right? And either way, like it's completely socially fine. Like no one really bats an eyelash. You know what I mean? Like it's one of these like places where like it's completely socially acceptable for you to be like wearing almost nothing at all and just kind of like peacocking and like basically saying what's up with like your six pack and your fucking, you know, your sick leg muscles. Or it's somewhere where like, you know, there's like a grandma with like 7 fucking grandkids and they're all like throwing pepperoni pizza at each other, and you could have them 10 feet apart and that's not like a weird dichotomy. Like, you know what I mean? Like the pool's just like a very interesting ecosystem. And then all the like swim team stuff and just like the culture around like being part of a pool. Like I knew people who like were very ride or die, like lifetime membership, would never go anywhere else type of shit. Like it's a really like it's a really, it can be a very insular community, especially when it's not like a public pool. But like, I don't know, just like the luxury of having water to get into to cool off is like fucked up because it's fucking water and it falls from the sky. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, like it's, I don't know, dude, like pools are fucking crazy when you really break them down. Like they're awesome, but they're like kind of fucked up. It is like, it's a cool spot, but also just like, you know, like the lack of availability, like if you live in certain areas to like this fucking amenity, I guess is an amenity. It's like, that's fucked up, you know? But like, it's just something that you don't really think about until you're like kind of faced with like that opportunity, or you're like me and you're like, oh, I guess I've been taking for granted this thing that like a lot of people I know would like die like to have. Like these people would never pass up a chance to go hang out at the pool, but I've been doing it for fucking like 25 years at this point. So it's like, whatever. Yeah, it's right there. We can go if you want to, dog. But like, episode's done. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please like and subscribe. It means the world to Andrew and I if you do that. Please take like the very little amount of time it takes to subscribe to the show and give us a good review and shit. Tell your friends also, please, please, please. People have been doing that, and it really is like touching when people, you know, tell their friends about the show. You can find The Hatening on all social media platforms. We're pretty active on there. From there, you will find the individual profiles for myself and Andrew. Please do not hesitate to, you know, to add us or contact us or anything on there too. We fuck with that really heavy. We really do like when people do that. It makes us know that people actually give a fuck about this thing that we give a fuck about. But yeah, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, no running, and tell your friends you love them.